Why F1 removing Spa would be unforgivable. It's a very worrying sign for the future of Formula 1 when I'm having to talk about the potential removal of Spa from the F1 calendar next year. Yes, you heard that right. There are strong rumours to suggest that the iconic Belgian circuit that has been on the F1 calendar since 1950 will not be featured on the 2023 schedule. And I'm really not happy about it. There is nothing like Spa anywhere in the world. The 7.004 kilometre beast is a thing of beauty. It just perfectly encapsulates what a racetrack should be. Straights that are long enough for drivers to get a run on the car ahead, but also going into corners that actually have hard braking zones into them. The perfect formula for great racing. It also has the iconic Eau Rouge and Raidillon, which is a complex like no other. Yeah, the track is almost perfect. But let's not also forget the weather it produces as well. Apart from 2021, I know, I'm sorry to remind you all. It can, within a split second, change the entire complexion of the race with a little rainstorm, which just makes this circuit loved by me and most F1 fans around the world. So why, oh why, oh why are there very strong suggestions that Spa will no longer be on the calendar? Well, F1 are signing circuits left, right and centre. With F1's huge rise in popularity, they have more circuits wanting to join than they have space for on the calendar. It seems we're very close to having a South African GP announced at Kyalami, which will be awesome by the way, but that could very well mean the end of the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Very much giving a "I've won but at what cost" kind of vibes. If F1 does not do everything in its power to keep Spa on the calendar, then the day we lose it is the day F1 loses part of its soul. It's been a part of the racing calendar since the very beginning, and it has to stay part of the schedule if F1 truly cares about what this sport is and what it is becoming. In June, we asked F1 fans what tracks they want to stay on the calendar and what ones they want to be removed. There's no prizes for guessing that Spa won what should stay, with a whopping 95% of fans believing it has a place in F1. 95%! And we're still talking about the potential of losing it? Now, I had to get Tommy and Katie's thoughts on this too, as I'm not the only one who thinks that losing Spa would be a complete disaster.
There's a reason so many fans have Spa at the top of their F1 bucket list. The history of the venue having been an almost constant on the calendar since the championship's first season in 1950, and of course the racing that the circuit produces. Seeing cars fly around it is just magical. If F1 decides not to renew their contract with the Belgian circuit, it'll be a travesty and undoubtedly piss off fans around the world, both new and old, especially when you look at some of these new venues appearing and the eye-watering price tag that comes with the tickets. However, Spa themselves need to take some responsibility too, as the infrastructure is becoming less suitable for hosting events on the scale that F1 now expects. Of course, we've seen some big changes in the last 12 months to help make the track safer for motorcycle racing, but heavy rainfall in recent years have seen tunnels collapse and the circuit damage, all of which have been fixed since. Transport to and from the circuit needs an overhaul, with my personal experience of the bus shuttle being very poor and hearing horror stories about relying on tractors to get cars out of parking lots. However, it sounds like Spa are willing to put in the effort, with more grandstands being built as well as additional car parks on suitable ground if it does decide to have a serious downpour like we saw last year. I hope that we can keep the circuit on the calendar, as it feels such a key part of F1's DNA.
So getting rid of Spa would confirm to me that F1 don't really care about the history of the sport anymore. Spa is an iconic venue and a fan favourite, and along with Monza, I'd say it's probably the race that F1 cannot lose. And yes, I do love Monaco, but I do understand the arguments for wanting it to go, even if I don't agree with them. For me, Spa is everything an F1 circuit should be. It's fast flowing, got iconic corners, and you just love watching a Formula 1 car around there. That's what F1 is all about to me. If they were to lose it, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts a chain reaction within 20 or so years, with the majority of the calendar becoming street races in major cities. At the end of the day, it's a world championship and F1 should provide different challenges race by race. We don't want 20 street circuits, and getting rid of Spa would be an absolute disaster.
There you have it, why F1 removing Spa would just be the worst decision ever. What are your thoughts on it? Let us know in the comment section below.